Have you ever wondered why ancient Egyptians worshipped cats? Why they were considered witches' helpers in the Middle Ages? Or perhaps these graceful creatures really do possess some supernatural abilities? Today, we'll dive into the amazing world of these mysterious beings and reveal astonishing facts about how cats quietly become our personal healers and protectors. Let's start with history. In ancient Egypt, killing a cat was punishable by death. When a cat died of natural causes, the entire family went into mourning. Owners shaved their eyebrows as a sign of grief. Cat bodies were mummified with the same care as pharaohs' bodies. Archaeologists find entire cat necropolises where thousands of mummified cats rest. But why did ancient Egyptians attach such importance to these animals? Imagine an ordinary evening. You're sitting in an armchair with a purring, furry bundle on your lap. What seems so special? But at this very moment, a real miracle is happening. The frequency of a cat's purr, from 25 to 150 Hz, is exactly the range that promotes tissue healing and bone strengthening. These vibrations stimulate collagen production, improve muscle and ligament elasticity, accelerate wound and fracture healing. Moreover, these same frequencies help reduce inflammatory processes in the body. Scientists conducted a large-scale study lasting 10 years and found that people who regularly interact with cats are 40% less likely to suffer from cardiovascular diseases. The risk of stroke is reduced by 30%. How is this possible? The fact is that cats are natural generators of positive energy and healing vibrations. But this is just the beginning of an amazing story. Did you know that cats can sense earthquakes and other natural disasters several hours before they begin? Their inner ear is so sensitive that it picks up the slightest vibrations of the Earth's crust, imperceptible to human perception. In Japan, there is even a special network monitoring cat behavior to predict earthquakes. Specialists track unusual changes in the behavior of hundreds of cats across the country, and this system has repeatedly proven its effectiveness. In 2008, an amazing incident occurred in China. All cats in a small village in Sichuan province simultaneously left their homes. Local residents were puzzled by such behavior, but a few hours later, a powerful earthquake occurred. Thanks to the timely warning from the cats, people managed to evacuate, and not a single villager was injured. Even more astonishing is cats' ability to detect illnesses. They literally scan our bodies with their special vision, capable of detecting temperature anomalies. A cat's nose can determine temperature differences down to 0.2 degrees. For comparison, humans can only feel a difference of 1 degree. Hundreds of cases are known where cats persistently nudged or lay on those parts of their owner's body where serious diseases were later discovered. Medical practice has recorded many cases where cats detected cancer at early stages. How do they manage this? The fact is that cancer cells have a higher temperature than healthy ones, and cats can detect this difference. Moreover, they can smell specific chemical compounds released by malignant tumors that cannot be detected even by modern instruments. And what happens when you pet a cat? At this moment, a whole cascade of biochemical reactions launches in your body. Blood pressure decreases by an average of 10 units, pulse slows by 5 to 7 beats per minute, stress levels drop, and blood oxytocin levels, the happiness hormone, increase. Just 15 minutes of interaction with a cat can reduce cortisol levels, the stress hormone, by a whole 25%. Interestingly, cats can synchronize their biorhythms with their owner. Research shows that after several months of living together, a cat's sleep-wake cycle begins to match the humans. Moreover, cats can adjust the frequency of their purring to their owner's heartbeat, thereby providing a therapeutic effect. But the most amazing thing is cats' ability to absorb negative energy. Have you noticed how after a hard day, a cat comes and lies next to you, and after a while you feel better? This is no coincidence. A cat's bioenergy field is 7 times more powerful than a human's, and they can literally absorb negative energy, transforming it. Cats know how to cleanse their bioenergy field on their own. You've surely noticed how after contact with a sick person, a cat spends a long time washing itself or rolling on the floor. In modern hospitals in some countries, there are special cat therapy programs. In Great Britain, for example, there is a whole network of cat hospitals where patients can spend time with specially trained therapy cats. Statistics show that patients participating in such programs recover on average 30% faster. They have better blood test results, more stable blood pressure, and better sleep. Especially impressive is cats' ability to anticipate the onset of epileptic seizures. They can detect the beginning of a seizure 40 minutes before it appears, and warn their owner through their behavior. In some countries, there are even special training programs for guide cats for people with epilepsy. These animals can not only warn about an approaching seizure, but also bring help or activate a special alarm. Cats are also unrivaled experts in home energy. Their ability to sense geomagnetic fields and electromagnetic radiation is simply amazing. They will never lie in geopathogenic zones, places with negative energy. If your cat constantly lies in a certain place, it means there is a favorable energy zone. And if it avoids some corner, perhaps there is something that requires your attention, such as faulty wiring or underground water. An interesting experiment was conducted in Germany. Scientists measured the levels of various radiations in places where cats prefer to lie and in those places they avoid. The results showed that cats unerringly choose zones with a minimum level of harmful radiation and the most favorable geomagnetic background. The phenomenon of predictor cats in hospices and nursing homes deserves special attention. In the USA and Great Britain, there are more than 100 officially registered cases where cats unerringly determined the approach of a patient's final hours. The most famous case is associated with a cat named Oscar, who predicted more than 100 deaths in a nursing home in Rhode Island over 5 years. His abilities were so accurate that staff began preparing relatives for the sad news as soon as Oscar lay down next to one of the patients. Scientists explain this by saying that cats can detect the slightest changes in human smell caused by biochemical processes in a dying organism. Moreover, they sense changes in a person's electromagnetic field that occur shortly before death. At the same time, cats don't just predict death. They help ease the transition, staying with the dying person and relieving their anxiety and fear. The influence of cats on our psyche is truly amazing. Research shows that even simply watching cat videos on the internet reduces anxiety levels by 18% and increases productivity by 12%. That's why cat videos have become such a popular phenomenon in modern culture. But live interaction with a cat is dozens of times more effective. Interestingly, cats are the only domestic animals that choose for themselves when and how long to interact with humans. This makes their company especially valuable from a psychological point of view. Unlike dogs, which may show attachment out of a sense of duty, cats are always sincere in their expressions of love. The influence of cats on child development is especially important. Research shows that children growing up with cats have 30% stronger immunity and 50% less likely to suffer from allergies. This is because early contact with cat allergens helps the immune system form correctly. In addition, such children demonstrate higher emotional intelligence, better understand nonverbal signals, and cope more successfully with social adaptation. Surprisingly, cats even help in treating autism. In specialized cat therapy centers, children with autism spectrum disorders show significant progress in social interaction after regular sessions with cats. The calmness and independence of cats help such children feel safe and gradually open up to the world. Cats also have a unique ability to help with depression and post-traumatic stress disorder. In some countries, there are special rehabilitation programs for veterans using cats. Statistics show that participants in such programs have a 67% reduced need for antidepressants and 45% improved sleep quality. Even the cat's purr itself has healing properties. Scientists have found that certain purring frequencies promote healing of fractures, reduction of inflammatory processes, decrease in swelling, regeneration of nerve tissue, strengthening of bone tissue, pain relief, acceleration of wound healing. Modern science continues to discover new amazing abilities of cats. For example, recent studies have shown that cats can see the ultraviolet light spectrum inaccessible to the human eye. This explains their ability to notice things we cannot see. In addition, their whiskers are so sensitive that they can detect the slightest changes in air movement, allowing them to sense the approach of natural disasters. An interesting fact: cat saliva contains special enzymes with antibacterial properties. When a cat licks its wounds, it's actually disinfecting them. These same enzymes can be useful for humans. Scientists are already working on creating new antibiotics based on components of cat saliva. In Japan, there is a whole industry of cat cafes where people can come and spend time with cats. Research shows that after an hour visit to such a cafe, stress levels decrease by 35%. Blood pressure normalizes, mood improves, productivity increases, anxiety decreases. Cats also help with insomnia. Their purring acts as a natural white noise, promoting falling asleep. The frequency of purring coincides with the frequency of brain delta waves, characteristic of deep sleep. people who sleep with cats report better quality sleep and better recovery. Particularly interesting are studies on the influence of cats on the energy field of a home. Using special devices, scientists have recorded that in homes where cats live, the level of negative radiation decreases. The overall energy background improves. The electromagnetic field normalizes. The number of pathogenic microorganisms in the air decreases. In conclusion, I'd like to note that cats are not just pets, but real healers and protectors. Their abilities, which our ancestors considered magical, are now receiving scientific explanation, but this doesn't make them any less amazing. So the next time your cat jumps on your lap, remember, this is not just an expression of love. It's a real healing session. These amazing creatures continue to protect us, as they did thousands of years ago in ancient Egypt. And perhaps that's why cats always land on their feet. They're too important for this world to allow themselves to get hurt. Modern research continues to reveal new facets of these amazing creatures' abilities, and who knows what other secrets of cat nature we have yet to discover in the future. One thing can be said for sure: the more we learn about cats, the more incredible they seem to us. If you enjoyed this information, don't forget to share it with friends and perhaps look at your furry companion with new eyes. And if you don't have a cat yet, perhaps it's time to think about getting yourself a personal furry healer. Until next time in the world of amazing discoveries about our four-legged friends,